This is a little short clip from a movie that I watched. Why does this...
My question is fiscal.
I'm going to play it because I think Luna wants help. Where you going, girl? I need to get some water. I'm going to play this clip, the audio. This guy looks like my brother.
I mean, it's not like you even know who I am.
And he treats my mom like this.
You've prayed and believed your whole life. Never done anything wrong. And here you are. And then
He said, you prayed and believed your whole entire life. Never did anything wrong, and here you are.
I know, I'm the meanest.
Where's the camera?
You have dementia. My life is perfect. Explain that to me. Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble.
Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble. Because he doesn't want them turning to God. To me, God's good, orderly direction. The skin is like a jail cell. It's all nice and comfy, and there doesn't seem to be any reason to leave. The door's wide open. Why would you go? The one day time runs out. Time runs out for everybody. Time ain't even real. The cell door slams shut, and suddenly it's too late. And you see it like these hospice nurses and stuff. People aren't dying peacefully because they didn't leave. They aren't dying with grace because they didn't give the grace that they had away to others. I had a learning experience today. I hate making amends. A lot of my behavior is motivated by not making amends. Like, you don't want to make amends for that. Don't do that. Because I don't want to be the same person that I used to be. So, in order to assure that I don't turn into that person, I can't act like I used to act. And this morning I went to the get the water jug filled up before the eclipse. I don't go out during eclipses. I went out one eclipse in Salem, Oregon in 2014. And my life is still a lot. So that's not my bag. And so I go out to get a jug of water, and there's a guy there parked wonky in front of the water house. And I was like, and then when I leave, you know, I try to get in fit spiritual condition. It don't always happen. I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and then I go get water, and this guy's parked concoct. Now understand, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, ain't nobody around. I was the one that's being the problem. I was the one being a jerk because I didn't feel good. And then this guy, in my mind, gave me a justified reason. And I chose not to get water because, like, he wasn't moving. And when I was leaving, he was flashing his lights, and I was like, well, maybe his transmission is broke. And he can't pull forward and unblock and amend, and that's shitty too. And then so I started to go, like, drive around to come back, and then I said, I felt compelled to go back and see if he needed help. And when I went back, he rolled down the window. I said, I just wasn't very kind to you, and I'm trying to be a better version because I don't want to be mad and angry, and I don't want to be more of the ugly that's in this fucking world, so I'm sorry, dude. He's like, it's cool. So I parked, and I said, so are you having trouble? I feel like he's like, yeah, it happens. It's intermittent. It'll turn over. And I said, a lot of times when this stuff happened, that's God protecting you, like down the path somewhere. So it's, he's like, yeah, it just happens. After I leave here, I just wanted to go up. And so I started getting my water jug, and I went and got him a sticker, and then we started talking, and I said, my name's Marge, and here's a sticker, told him the story and stuff, and then he said his name is Gabriel. I said, my name's Marge, like the Simpson. And he said, my name's Gabriel. I said, like the angel? He said, yeah. I said, we need more of you. And he was getting a bag of ice so he could go up and go fishing up an Angel Fire. And I said, I just took my mom up there. He's not from around here either. He's a transplant, because not everybody gets afforded the benefits of born and raised. So that's why I could tell who the welcoming committees are, and usually there aren't any. Because even in Turon towns, they only like outsiders because you're coming a long way to give them money. Aside from that, they don't even like locals here. Be kind and loving and generous all you want, and if people are only nice to you because they're getting a paycheck to do it at the grocery store and stuff. And that's the only place I know I could meet people. I could talk to people is at the grocery store, at the Waterhouse. Because like attracts like, and I'm trying to be a better version of myself, and there's plenty of other things out there that are perfectly content with how they are. So I had to make an amends because I just had to tell him. I said, how they talk about hurt people? I've been hurt since I was a 10-month-old baby girl. Time and time again. Being the brave little soldier, picking myself up. I've almost drowned in Whiskeytown Lake when I was 5. I got electrocuted. I was like 7. Mom introduced me to my faith in God and tried to run us off, turn off the headlights going 70 miles an hour on a frontage road when I was 13. So I count that as one time God kept us from being taken out. Violent scenario after violent scenario, because of no control over mine or influence that I would have. So I've always known what a dangerous place the world has been. Yet I visit the world that other people create, the contrived reality, where you get put red lipstick on your nose and sing about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but people aren't listening to the lyrics that tell people, all the other reindeer wouldn't let him play their reindeer games because he was different. I was always the outsider. I was the different one. On the fringe of other people's groups and clubs. Athletic teams. Everybody's all excited about, sports are the greatest thing. I'm like, what? Sports are the biggest time suck, resource suck. I saw some kid, where's the sportsmanlike conduct on planet Earth? I thought it was supposed to mold and create young people and look at planet Earth. It didn't work. The agency didn't work. But it's made a lot of money, and money's not real. I think the last Super Bowl I watched was it was in the 1990s, and yet people still live that same loop every year. Like they live for that team. You can't help your friend move, but man, the things people do for the false idols for profits. I'll do anything to keep those, those things happy. The popularity contests. The click, like, subscribe. See, that ain't me. I just get on here and I tell stories about my life because my life is far more remarkable than anything I've ever seen anybody else make up. So you don't ever see me monetize. Because I don't have any kids that I want you to help me pay for them to have the best of everything. I didn't want to have kids. I'm one of those, like, I want to bring no people onto this planet. I could see how it's coming. I was listening to a YouTube talk a little while ago, and these people were talking about savants and what savants are, and I'm like, I'm one of those. But you see, like attracts like, and when people aren't remarkable, when people haven't lived extraordinary lives, they don't see me because my life has been extra, more than ordinary. And that's how frequency works. They create a program to get you to look over here, look over here. Just chasing sensations. Wee! I call it wee. They do it at the ski lodges. They do it all the places that make people go wee. Some dude just died, started a wee convention. There's homeless people everywhere, but Sundance, what the fuck do I care? I got no false idol for profit on this planet Earth. Never walked up to mom and say, hey, you're a single mom. I see how hard you're trying, that the system doesn't do things to make life easy for you. Let me help you. That hasn't happened. It's only the intangibles. It's only through mom's prayer and teaching us to pray that the diamonds in the rough have heard her prayer and answered her prayer. That's how I learned to live from my heart from when I was a little girl. I do these videos also as like it's a history. It's a recorded history account of my life. And then one day when I'm gone, if my nieces and my nephews have any care to know the person that I was, they can come here and listen to my stories. And they can hear the stories about how I tried to be a part of their life. But see, my path is the unwelcome path. I am here to be the outsider to teach other people how to be welcoming. It's what I'm called to do. See, I had to go through a lot of really, really hard, difficult things so I could encourage people that whatever hard things that they're going through, they can get through it too. So I'm tired of hearing about how people are committing suicide and overdosing on this, and there's this one guy just came across my FYP. He was like a Bible guy. Like he just came up like 2 days ago. I was like, oh, that's cool, he's doing this. Opened my video this morning, hit on a motorcycle, got hit and killed just like my sister Jessica 3 years or almost 2 days it'll be 3 years ago. That's just something else I had to grieve by myself. I tried so hard to go to her funeral. The dumb bitch that was supposed to hang out with mom while I drove to Albuquerque flew over for the service just to fly back. I couldn't go because I didn't have nobody to hang out with my mom. And then her own father and her own brother didn't go. And I wanted to be there so bad. Just wasn't in the cards. Just more stuff I gotta let go of. Don't let it make you angry, Marge. Don't let it turn you into a mean, angry person. Don't let it keep you from being generous. Okay. Then I look around and I'm like, Well, what was it that took all these people on planet Earth? What was it that took what was it that sealed the deal that closed their heart all the way? And how come I could still manage to keep mine open? It's like it's a game, you know. We're here for such a short time. We're here for such a short time. So for the people to do what they do with such a short time that they have, it just goes to show that they're a part of the program. And people like me are here to break the program. And I was a part of the program. I was so... Want to see how part of the program I was? I was such a part of the program. I was a part of the program. Yet, every day I turn on social media and I see people talk about the program. All these people talk about the program. They were never fucking a part of the program. They were never beneath the program. They were not autistic. They were not nacho neurotypical. They didn't have to put a mask on to exist on this planet. So maybe I'm the alien. Maybe I'm the alien. And maybe aliens care more about humans than humans care about humans. Or maybe it's the people that like to bomb people and kill people. Maybe they're the aliens. And the people that care about other people, maybe they're the human. You know what the bottom line is? I don't give a shit about what people are. Because people can repent. But that's the thing. They have to repent. They have to just not stop doing the same shit like that scumbag Sheen guy. Anybody giving that guy press, get the fuck out of my world. Like, what is anybody doing with that guy? Like, don't let him speak. Those are the ones that you just want to just shut up and go away, and then 30 years you hear about how they're gone. Oh well. Tiger blood, adrenochrome, like they're all scumbags, and then they stop acting that way, but they never rectify, they never repent, they never said, you know what, I did this wrong, and I was wrong for it, and society needs to pay me back. Because they're so full of themselves that they're above laws, rules, regulations, policies, and procedures. I've seen them ever since I was here. I've worked in hospitals. I've worked in huge corporations. I have cleaned out tin folder after tin folder of perverts with freaking porn in their computers, me getting annoyed, going to management saying, why can't they use their 6-figure paychecks, buy their own laptops, and watch that stupid shit on their stuff? Because they're arrogant. And that's why they do it, because they fucking can. And they don't care about the pushback because they're so important, no one's ever going to catch them. And that was in 3 organizations that I worked at. Imagine if I would have worked at more. Because it's in all of them. Because it's a spiritual abnormality. There's something out in the no place space that charges people to be kind, loving, generous, empathetic, all these things. But when you dial down society, give them fast cars that they can race around. Some dipshit fucking lost his exhaust cap. Look at this shit. Somebody paid probably, I don't know, a few $100 for this. There's homeless people everywhere, right? All over the place. People don't have access to clean water. But let's put this stupid muffler cap on. And this is what the parrot said. Oh, I wonder if I still have it. Or if I lost it. Because there's no accountability for anybody. The parents should be teaching their children to drive safely in their ton bullets, because that's all a car is. It's like it's a bullet, like you're gassing, And you point, and people point their cars at people because they don't have reverence for life. So the mom, Cassandra, says, my son lost his custom-made exhaust tip. This is a picture of it. If anyone finds it, please reach out to me. It must have fell off when driving the roads. Driving the roads like how? Like a little fucking asshole that are leaving all the little circles, the little circle jerks that are like, woo, because you never taught him how to calm himself down. So all he knows how to do is speed himself up. And then they get an idea that this is what men do. And it makes their little nuggets hard. Racing around. That's what it is to be a man in America. You can't fucking change a tire on your own car. See the disconnect? How everything is fake on planet Earth. There's a lot of unqualified people that lack life experience that are going around telling people how things they are. They're all over my feed. I listened to a lot of different reports on accounts from people. Laura Duchovny. Let's see here. Molly McCord, Joni Patry, Laura Barat, Lady Duchovny, Lori Lothian, Rudolph Steiner, Stoicism Legends, Ozark Mountains, Crashio Tassi, Ablas Roland, Dolores Cannon, Kepler College, Rock and Roll Propheticist, Dr. John Campbell, The Body Language Ghost, Navajo Tradition, Stoic Realms. And then there's Sloan Bella, she's cool. Rick Levine, Rick, R-I-K, Allison Coe, Donna Stellar. These are Barack Goldsmith. She don't do no videos. She left back when around the same time maybe that what's her face? Marge Astrology dropped out. Because people use astrology to create an outcome, and then they get the outcome that they want, and then they're like, nah, I don't need to know no more. That's what I see time and time again. And then there's a bunch of people I don't even subscribe to. I just listen to because I value their opinions. And that's another thing that frickin' is wrong with America. Why has everybody gotta like everybody? I don't have to like people to value their opinions. I don't have to like people to have respect for things that they've taught me, you know? Like, they don't have to look a certain way. They don't have to have a certain shade of their skin. They don't have to walk a certain way. They don't have to be a certain gender. They don't have to love a certain kind. So today's the eclipse. My life has already been impacted. And I really see, like, you know, I got a few bad days left, but not as many as others, because that's one good thing about being thrown away by your whole entire family. To be the live human sacrifice. That's the best thing about that. Is that I don't have to mourn people that don't see me, that don't believe in me. My sister had 3 kids, younger kids from a man that she was in a very toxic relationship with, and she had 3 kids as a result. And the father of her children didn't even know I existed. And they were together like when I was in the military. And I was trying to call her, and I was newly sober, trying to be a more active participant in my younger sister's life. But see, that's the funny thing about me. I'm pretty easy to tag, like I'm easy to read. Like, all you gotta do is just ignore me and I'll leave your world. And I left her world, and then I came back into her world a couple years before she died. But see, there's this thing that disconnected us, and that's the fact that I live from my spirit and she lives from her ego, like her father and my brother. So life is kind of painful like that. You don't, when I was a little girl, I'd imagine the world. Like, everything I imagined I wanted to do, I did it. In 2008, I was doing it. I was 34 years old. I just bought my first house, my house in Omaha. Mom came to live with me. I was so excited. All I need is that relationship, and then I could fill this house with love. And it just like dissolved, like those X-Men movies when they go puff, or the freaking Harry Potter when they just dissolved. That's what happened to my life. And so I said, well, I can't create a life in Nebraska anyway, so I always wanted to live in Oregon. And that was the lesson that was the beginning of a lesson. All these people are doing geographics. I want to move so bad. I don't want to live in Taos no more. Taos isn't fun. Taos isn't cool. Taos isn't a rad place. Taos is boring. Taos is for the advantage. Taos is just for the special cousins, and I'm fucking tired of trying, so I don't want to live here no more. The fact is wherever I go, there I am. So that's why I had to learn to be comfortable wherever I am. Whatever shithole living circumstances I'm in, all I'm trying to do is make it as comfortable as possible as I can for my mom, Luna, and Stan Lee. Because I made commitments to them. And I know that people don't understand what a commitment is. Because people just, they get things in their life, and then that thing like takes away from things that they want to do, so then they get rid of the thing so they could go back to doing what they want to do. That's America. Just do whatever you want. Chase all those sensations. I was telling a friend the other day that I said I was such a part of the program, I just wouldn't take to it. When I was in junior high, I was the one that I was vice president at CVI, so I had to go down to the office where the people that got you in trouble sit, and then turn on the intercom and say that Pledge of Allegiance every day. So I was like one of the puppet masters to get appeal to emotion. Love that country. Only to grow up to be on Crete when we bombed Iraq to find out with my own eyes, by first account, that this country is a fucking lie. See, your teeth rot when you talk so much shit, so much trash, so much lies, and you have so many bad thoughts, it rots your teeth. These aren't veneers. So I must have been doing something right with all this stress thrown at me. I could manage to stay balanced enough to be 50. I don't even have the I'm mad at your mom tooth gone. That's what I call that one. You'll miss it. I hate my mom. See, because teeth represent things too. Bottom teeth, you got dad issues. Top teeth, looks like I got over any kind of issues I had with my mommy and daddy. Thank God that I got over my daddy issues, because the idea of being married to a fucking 70-year-old right now makes me want to fucking vomit. The idea of being married to any kind of man right now makes me want to go in my mouth a little bit. Because the experience that I've had, they're for show. They're playing a role. They're getting you to believe that they're the protectors and the defenders and women, and they're just like cowardly little boys that you see in kindergarten that piddle on themselves because they just can't quite figure out the pissing thing part, and then who's gonna clean them up at school because mommy does it at home. I don't know. I didn't get that experience too. I was like thrown to the wolves when I was a little kid. I just want the world to be a place where stuff doesn't happen like they happen to me. Yet it's so profitable and so many people make so much money. Like, look how many sheriff, police, how many people and agencies have gotten direct deposit paychecks for, let's see, how long? So if we go 365, so there's 52 weeks. There's 52 weeks, so we'll do it like that in a year. 52 times 25. So that's say they're on the force for 25 years, so that's divided by 2, because they probably only get paid, actually I did that all wrong, so 365, so 25 times 26, too much. Now I'm confusing myself. This is what happens when you got Pisces and Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. They call it OCD or whatever, but it's just I got too much water and air, and I don't have any earth in my chart to ground me. And I keep saying, hey, I want to make friends because I get grounded through people, and I feel better having people in my life, but people don't want to fucking know me. They really don't, dude. It's so weird how avoidant people are. And I'm such a that just tells me they're not generous people. That's the, oh my god, if I know this chick, she's gonna do nice things, and I'm not a nice person, so it's just, oh my god, I can't know her. You know anybody like that? Huh, pretty girl? You waking up, Ma?
Oh, yeah.
You getting hungry?
Oh,
You listening to me yammer?
yeah.
I had to make amends to the guy today. I was rude and insensitive.
Oh,
I gave him a sticker as a peace offering. His name was Gabriel. He was going to go fishing. So it turned something that I started out as a negative into a more positive, when what I need to learn is just not be negative. You know, like they say, hurt people, and I've been hurt, and I've managed to keep myself from like causing harms to others because of my hurt. But then I look around the world, I'm like, how come these posers can't? How come they can't not cause harm to other people? Like, why can't people keep their hands to themselves? Like, why do people get so mad that they got to put lead into a person to stop them from breathing? None of that stuff makes any sense to me. Like, I never understood. I always thought police should be trained like in psychology too. And then, like, you know, they should be well-rounded. They should be handing out water to homeless people, you know. Like, they should be qualified to do way more than they do. They don't know. Yeah, their high school educations fail us every day. I've been bullied by so many police. That's why I'm like, fuck you. It's not against the law for me to flip you off. It's not against the law to flip off a policeman. So if a policeman pulls you over and tries to get in your car and throw his fucking stupid cousin bit on you, I hope it works out for you as well as it worked out for me. Homeboy had to tuck his little tail between his little deputy legs and come back and let me go. Because don't you know who that bitch is? My record is clean. How's yours? Because like attracts like. And I have these tendencies in me to bully because I was bullied. The men in my life felt it fit to freaking, if they wanted me to get me to buckle, all they had to do was cause physical pain onto me and I would relent. Uncle, uncle, uncle. But that's the only way that they could get me to relent, was by and then, but what I did is I got tougher and tougher. And they could do whatever they want, but they couldn't get me to budge. Or I would play their stupid games to get my advantage, like when I was in the military. Only to do 6 years because I knew what a fucking crock it was. I'm like, this is the shit that people like have parades for, go to air shows for, like go America. It's all propaganda. It's all smoke and mirror. Get them to believe in something so they'll never believe in themselves. We live in a lie. We living on an alien ant farm. But hey, there's so many people that are freaking make it better, right? There's so many people that are just so ready and willing to step up. That's why everything's getting so much better. That's why the cracks of society are sealing up. Because all the Christians are come racing for. That's not what I've seen on planet Earth. I see more people that get shot just for no good reason. I don't care who they are. I don't care the color of their skin. I don't care any of that. But just, you can't end people's lives just because you disagree with them. Because if that were the case, the population numbers would be much, much lower than they are. You can't do that. You can't end people because they annoy you. If people don't cause you harm, you can't cause harm to them. It comes back to you. That's what universal law is. And it is of no consequence to me if people do not believe in karma. Good for you. Just because people don't believe in things doesn't mean that these things do not exist. And the ramification, people don't believe in karma because they don't want to be accountable. If you don't believe in karma, then you just go around and do whatever you want whenever you feel like it. Without any consequence. Because all you have to do is die and all your sins are forgiven. It's not quite that easy. And whatever lessons you don't rectify in this lifetime, okay, have a really, really good one. Because whatever energy you put out, even neglect, because not helping people is how, I remember, what was that name, that lady's name, that Natalie chick? Jack, that Wagner dude, like he offed his own wife, and Christopher, like, you know, they could be covering it for it. That's why you got to be careful, is because there's fucking nut jobs out there, and if they want to end you and don't want you on planet Earth, well, we see the evidence every day. So I guess it's just better to make yourself small and less significant, and then you won't be a prize for the predators, right? See, I don't have kids. I just have mom and the dogs. And there's all these people that have kids, yet they're not willing to do what it takes to make this world a better place for their own kids. So I guess at this point, why should I put any effort into making the world a better place? I don't have any clowns in this circus. Nobody on this earth gives a shit if I fucking live or die today. Because they haven't up until this point. Because there ain't nobody here. In the times that life was so heavy, I couldn't hardly get out of bed. But I have to get up and feed mom and let the dogs out and all that stuff. Ain't nobody running to my doors. Oh, veteran, thank you for your service. I'm here to help your life easier. Even the own VA system. Jameson Herrera, you shit stain, scumbag. You're fucking worthless. And how much are you worth in your bank account for not helping veterans? with your 35-year-old National or Army Reserve bullshit. People that do nothing have too much, while people that have gone on working so fucking hard have less. So, that's alright. That's okay. It ain't my deal. I'm just a spectator here. Now it's gonna come back around. That's what's happening the next. From now into October. Yeah. More truths for being revealed, because people can only pretend like they're of decency for so long without offering any example to support what they say. I heard it my whole life. People say things. Those words that you say are not true. Nothing that your behavior does supports those words that they say. And then people say actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder. And I look around and I see what people's actions are doing. I just don't even want to be around them. So enjoy the fun part. It's been real. I've been talking about this time, like, people have free will. They can choose it to be generous, giving of themselves. More authentic. Notice I'm not saying loving, because to me, love is a lie. So, we'll see how it bodes for people. So I hope everybody is in their place that they want to be. They're totally secure. They got plenty of food in their fridge. Like, you live in an unstable environment. Electricity ain't gonna go out. You ain't gonna have you're not in any kind of danger ever. That's what everybody's done, right? Security is an inside thing. I learned that a long time ago, that I had to learn how to calm myself down, because nobody's gonna come in and save me. Nobody's gonna come in and say, what you need, Marge? You need pats? You need circles? What you need? Let me give you pats and circles, Margie. Which is okay, but when I look out at the world and I see so many people that their psychologies are dissolving for one silly little reason or another. Wow. How amazing that you could be as old as you are without having any traumatic events. I saw a guy, he was a comedian, that somebody had a heart attack and dropped out in his audience. And there are people that took control. Paramedics came. Evidently the guy's recovering in the hospital, so there's a positive but this guy's on the, and you could tell he's disassociated, like he's just going through, like he's in shock. That's what I call in shock, is when people get overwhelmed and they just go on automatic pilot. And that's what I could see that this guy was doing. And then it was all over. And he was like in his 30s. Like, how do people get to be in their 30s and 40s and then have something horrific happen, and they're like, this is the most horrific thing I ever, what was the last most horrific thing? Like, how do people get to avoid so many terrible, but you can't. That's the thing, is they can put it off, but because we're supposed to learn, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, we are supposed to learn lessons. And so it's when you have terrible things happen to you, when you see terrible things happen to other, you know how awful it feels, and you want to offer them support to help them get through. That is my understanding of it. Has that happened for me? No. I've had a lot of people watch me fall on my face, not offering any help to literally physically pick me up, but like pretending. Like, people don't care. They're very, for my life lesson in this life has been trying to figure out who really is for me, because most people aren't. And with my 29 degrees in Gemini and Saturn in Gemini in my 12th house, like, my hidden enemies, they're not hidden. And I can't tell when people are nice to me because they're just being nice. Because I'm nice to people just because it's cool to be nice, unless they're being stupid in my brain, but my brain dictates what stupid is different than anybody else. And I try to rationalize it with all the self-deprecating, self-down talk of, oh, just wait your turn and let them be them. But what I found is, like, have you ever noticed that if somebody's helping somebody else and they know you're waiting, that they're going to take longer with that person that they're helping? Have you noticed that? I've had that experience. It's just what people do that like to fuck with people. I don't like to fuck with people. I like to do my business and go on, but there's people that just like, it's like they like that smell. Like fucking with people emits a fear, like a cat that's playing with a mouse, and they just like it. So that they just, screw with whoever they can for whatever reason. It don't matter. I don't think that shit comes back to you very good. You ready to get up, Ma?